What is up, YouTube? I hope y'all are having a blessed day right now. Welcome back to the channel. Uh, so, right now, I want to talk about self-love, self-validation, and protecting yourself. Uh, it's really, really easy to get lost caving into what other people want from you instead of asking yourself, what do you want out of this life? What do you want for your life? All right. As we follow the steps of Jesus, we do not need people to validate us. I'll speak for myself. I don't ever need people to, I don't care about people's approval. I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what my parents think of me. I just try to be positive all the time because that's just who God made me to be. Alright, sorry guys. And people are going to hate you for it. When you don't need them to validate, when you don't need them, when you don't go to them for advice, when you don't ask them for help, they're going to wonder why. And they're going to think you're arrogant and snobby and, prudish or whatever. Actually, that's probably the wrong word, but you get the point. And because of that, when you're out here, people are always going to try and target you because they can't believe that you're a good person. They can't believe that you're nice. They can't believe that you actually don't have a single hateful bone in your body. All right. And so having said that, I wanted to tell y'all today you need to protect yourself. And when I say that, I mean that you need to be careful who you talk to, even the people closest to you, like family, friends. Maybe if you're in a relationship too, you gotta, if they're not on your level, then if the person you're with is not on your level, that's a sign right there that you need to proceed with caution. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person or they're trying to take you out, but you don't know who they're gonna run off and talk to. All right. Just be careful out here. People you don't know are gonna want to ask you questions, and you gotta be that type of man, be that type of woman that Grey Rock, just don't give them anything to go off of and just diminish what they're trying to get out of you, pretty much. Because it's real. People sense your energy and everyone wants a piece, but that doesn't mean that they want to, it doesn't mean it's going to be for your greater good. All right. Yeah. You got to check your back at all times. People out here, they aren't your friend. Just be careful. That's part of loving yourself, is we have this tendency to want to please other people, but the reality is that we need to please ourselves first, because, you know, it ain't gonna work otherwise. You're gonna feel drained and depleted. Let me tell you a true story. I was at the library today earlier and getting some work done, and I was there for like a while, maybe 3 hours or so. I walk out of the library, all right, there's no one around. I walk out of the library, and out of nowhere, this woman comes out of nowhere. This older woman, or a middle-aged woman. And, you know, because I'm not an over-the-top kind of guy. Like, I don't like bow down to anyone, or I don't necessarily serve women in general. But out of courtesy, because she was a little older, I just held the door open as I was, you know, shuffling out of there. Instead of walking through the door, she stands there, looks at me and says, "What HEB do you work at? Or what grocery store do you work at?" Because I'm wearing my work uniform. And I don't know this person. Instantly, I thought, as we learn to walk in the footsteps of Jesus, we learn to respond, not react. A few years ago, I would have blurted out, "Oh, I work here and there." Nah, not this time. She said, "What HEB do you work at?" I say, "Oh, the one over here," because there's like 3 HEBs around here. So it could be any one of those 3 I work at, right? I'm like, "Oh, over there. I work at the one over there," and it's pointed in the general direction because I want to get out of there. She's like, "Oh, the one here on this such and such street?" I'm like, "The one over there." Like, and she said, "Oh, the same one, like that one?" And I look at her, and I'm just tired. I'm gonna say, "Yeah, well, hey, have a good day." And I just like start to walk away. I let go of the door and walk away. And as I'm walking away, she calls out, "I work at HEB too," like in a weird tone. And it doesn't bother me. I'm just saying that if it bothers a stranger to not know something about you, to where when you don't give them what they want, they start treating you really weird, then it's probably a good thing that you stood up for yourself and didn't just give out information that way. Now, I know a lot of you wouldn't have said anything anyway. You would have just been like, you know, probably a third of you would have had a conversation, another third of you actually would have told her where you work, and another third of you would have been like me, just been like, around, I'm just, you know, I'm from here, I work over there. And the thing is that, something about that woman just was like, don't tell her anything. So I didn't. My intuition is usually on point. And then another thing is, I kind of knew that the second as I'm leaving the library, she's walking in the library. If I tell her where I work, odds are whoever her friends are in that library, or she's friends with the librarians, she's probably going to go tell them where I work. I don't want that information out there. And that's what people gotta know is, we like to keep our lives private. I do. I'm that type of guy. I don't give stuff out unless I really trust you, I really fuck with you, or, you know, I have to for, you know, legal purposes or whatever, or something. But something told me to just not answer, and so now I feel like I probably can't go back there because people are gonna know that, oh, that's the guy that didn't tell that lady where he works at and everything. You know, just like, not that I care, because I don't care what people think, but, you know, it's just, the library is my safe environment. That's my environment, like, I like to go to and chill. So in the future, I'm probably gonna have to go to a library somewhere else in the future, which is fine. But look, the reason I told you that story is because you just need to protect yourself and just be careful who you talk to, okay? And you gotta love yourself. Some of us, you know, we used to be people pleasers. It's very easy to just dish out what we got, just to give. But unfortunately, with unlimited giving comes unlimited takers, and takers have no limits. Givers have no limits, and takers have no limits. So if you want to be run dry and drained, then you don't want to end up that way. So my message to y'all is give carefully and be careful who's taking from you. And that counts for energy, time, especially money. Don't give anyone any money, ever. Even your parents, don't give them money. Because I've learned in my family, how do I say this, that, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but I learned in my family that it's, the times when I've been asked to give money and I say no, I'm very grateful I did not. I'm very thankful I said no. I'll put it that way, okay? So, you know, be careful what you do with your money. Be careful, you know, less for yourself. Be careful who you tell people info. Be careful about people who stalk you, gang stalkers. I personally don't have any social media. Facebook, none. Snapchat, none. Instagram, none. LinkedIn, none. I don't know. I'll just say it. Tumblr, none. MySpace, none. You know, this is the only platform I got. And, you know, no one knows about this channel. It's like I said, I'm a private person, and I like it. It's gonna stay that way. So I'm trying to help y'all out. You know, just be careful what you do out there, and you gotta love yourself and only be selfish for yourself, because everyone else they're just takers and they ain't shit. All right. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all watching. You know, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or, you know, whatever you feel called to do. I hope y'all have a blessed day. You know, let me know if you have any video ideas, and I'll make a video about it, because I have a lot of knowledge, but I don't know where to start. So I appreciate y'all. God bless.